My friend, who's only here on vacation for a few more weeks, had a birthday party last night. And I was, almost didn't want to go because, I'm on a cane. I feel embarrassed about the natural process of aging or being knocked off your pins. And I got there and another person was wearing one of those boots to immobilize her leg. She had ruptured her Achilles tendon. And this is a person who is naturally very graceful, a dancer, does Qigong all the time, and is now having to adapt to a fairly heavy boot. And I think it's Anne Lamott who says, hardship is inescapable, but you learn how to dance with a limp. And there's something, we were doing that last night. It was a great party, and I was sad when it was over, and I'm working on just having the momentum of that joy carry me forward, rather than just feeling sad that it's over, just to be in the moment and let the joy in. And I had written down, radical acceptance can open the way to joy. Acceptance of where we are. Acceptance of the fact that the joyful moment, may be quote unquote over, but stay in the moment and, it'll come back around. Joy comes back around. Whoa. All right, cards, behave yourselves. Four of Swords. That's almost like getting still in order to heal, quieting your mind in order to heal. Swords can speak to attention or to memory, communication, a lot of things, but here I think it's somehow a suspension of focus on external things. In traditional Rider-Waite, it shows somebody in a tomb, basically, just giving their mind a break. A suspension of communication and overthinking, maybe. These cards are very slippery today, so I'm going to try not to. I was halfway through reading and they all went splat, and so let's see what this one brings us. Something healing. Healing. Temperance card. Card of Sagittarius, of divine timing, of things coming together, balancing out. They're the two streams converging. And it's a card of protection. And in a way, so is this. Protection, divine protection, protection in 3D. It doesn't mean, Four of Swords isn't really about ultimately disengaging. It's just recharging of the batteries, recharging the mental energies to, so one doesn't get exhausted. Three of Cups. That's connection and celebration. That's what happened to me last night. And all of us there in our various ways were healing. All of us in our various ways are healing. Coming back into balance. protected by you know, the angelic presence that's there when in the stillness. Three of Cups, a card of celebration and coming together. Like this birthday party that I didn't want to go to. Something made you very happy, almost in spite of yourself, maybe, because you'd healed something, maybe without even really knowing it's sword energy. Fool card, the energy of the new beginning. It's a card of Aries, fire energy. Sagittarius, fire energy. This is the summoning the strength and the will, attributes of fire, to begin. The beginning of the journey, maybe toward happiness and healing, toward wholeness. Fool's journey toward wholeness. Chariot. Major Arcana card of Cancer. Cups energy. Personal happiness and the happiness of being with other people. You know, and it doesn't last. In that sense of the moment passes. We live in time. Things are fleeting. Emotional balance. You know, maybe balancing out our personal happiness, Nine of Cups, with the happiness of coming together. Like when the other people aren't there, you can still feel this. Lines speak to the personal. You know, your love is still resonant, or a cup you can drink from. It's a kind of nourishment. The communal cup. And listen, I spend, you know, maybe 1/10 of my time in the presence of somebody else. You know, where I get to really sit down and talk to somebody. Like we're doing this here now. And I get a kind of vicarious engagement. I mean, I was really criticizing somebody the other day. I mean, I digress, but there's an AI now where you can talk to the AI and get advice on how to fix your car, or like relationship advice. You know, and I was saying to this person, man, you need to get out more. You know, but this is virtual in a sense. I mean, I'm not a chat box and you're, you know, this is for real. We're by the magic of something here together now. You know, moving forward together. It can be in a contradiction to be by yourself, you know, the white horse and the black horse, by yourself, but also in a kind of communal situation that's outside time. You know, the party's over, but is it? Even if it's a solo celebration, it's not accessible in every moment, but when when there's the opportunity for it, drink it in. Cups energy, drink it in. You know, it's like a toast. Cheers, here's to you. Here's to us. Okay. Here's to us. On Nine of Cups, the card of personal happiness. With Two of Cups, the card of connection between two people. It's that kind of balance, too. Emotional balance, a card of Cancer, water energy. I like that. So we have a card of the personal, the connection, and a group energy. 3 of Cups. Shared feelings. Here's to us. And maybe something happened to your ability to perceive this sword energy. But you're coming back into alignment somehow and healing through connection, whether you're by yourself, 9 of Cups, or in company, or in a connection right now. It doesn't mean you're disconnected. King of Pentacles. Earth energy. Somebody who's present, somebody who shows up. So when the moment comes around, just be there. This is a card of caretaking in a way, but not by talking to somebody, just by being there. That's the healing moment. That's the space we can connect from. We can connect from. Lover's card. Air energy, Gemini. Card of the twins. Card of reciprocal relationship. Healing that. Also in sword energy, healing that. We have 2 of Cups and we have Lovers. Maybe it's maintaining a faith in the possibility of connection. Might not be romantic connection. Might be group connection of some kind, like a support group. Be there for it. Devil energy. Card of Capricorn. It's earth energy. And to me, devil energy is the ability to work with. Capricorn is a card of work and, in a way, being there, because this can refer to shadow energy, where there's a tendency to want to push it away because it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. But I think personal happiness really depends on the ability to work with what holds us back from connection. To work with what isolates us from ourselves, from the other person. Heal the connection. And this is a card of the individual. The blend. We have to work both ends of the spectrum. Here's the rainbow. Both ends of the spectrum. There's kind of an alchemical energy in the blend. Something greater than the sum of the parts. This can be a card of fear. It might be fear that, what happens when the party's over? Do we go back into isolation? These 2 almost fetal energies, they share an umbilical cord. It's the inverse of twins. It might be a relationship that has held you back, that you need to work hard to free yourself from. You need to heal the idea of, having that kind of connection within reach. love of yourself, love of the other person. Wheel of Fortune on Fool. The karmic wheel, the karmic path, the turn for the better. Be there for it. You know, you can examine what holds you back without it making, you know, somehow getting stuck there. It's a card of getting, you know, being afraid of getting stuck. It might be a fear of codependency. You know, if I lean in too much to the idea, Four of Swords, that there's a match for me out there, what if I become codependent? One or the other or both parties might be afraid of that. On Temperance, we have two. Eight of Pentacles. Divine timing to do the work, to do the work of freeing yourself, to do the work of healing. Not by ignoring, you know, the energies that hold you back or scare you, but by using them as a, you know, as the raw material for forward movement, the raw material for the courage to take the risk. Fool is sort of brought into presence by being on the edge of something, the edge of the new beginning, perhaps. Five of Cups. I think that's an energy. Fives indicate a need for change. This is a feeling of sadness and loss. But again, that full spectrum. You know, feel the sadness and feel the connection. Both can exist at the same time. This is about a connection, I think, that's outside time. You know, the person doesn't need to still be there. For you both to be present for each other and to recognize how important the relationship is. There are the Two of Cups, quite predominant in the sadness. I think, you know, when we've established a connection like this, it lives in our hearts, Cups energy. It can't be extinguished. Emotional balance and successful, you know, victoriously moving forward into the, you know, it's like the victory lap. The healing may be imminent. It's not like one and done. You have to keep working at it. Capricorn, the hardest working card, Major Arcana card in the deck. Over time, freeing yourself from sadness, freeing yourself to heal. Let's see. Seven of Wands. Five of Cups, Seven of Wands. In fire energy, It might be, I mean, Seven of Wands can be the block. Devil card can be the block. I think there's an instruction to focus on what brings us to life, what makes us feel courageous, to move forward, Chariot card, to take the risk, Fool card, to know that we can heal as we go. It takes time. This is a card also of accepting the situation as it is, accepting yourself as you are. Pentacles energy, like there's no need to put on a false front or to try to be happy all the time. There's something here outside time. And, you know, we live both inside and outside time, in the moment and in something transcendent that's beyond the moment. Okay. I'm feeling a little skeptical. I don't know about you. Hangman, take a minute. It's a card of Pisces, processing emotion. In order to change, you know, a stance of sadness, we need to process it, stop and process it. What makes me, and happiness isn't quite the right word, but what fills my heart? This connection. Maybe it's a call to transform what was stuck, an energy that was stuck and maybe toxic. To let it inspire you to begin the journey toward wholeness. Inspires to do with breath. I don't know, you know, to take a breather. There was somebody I was watching who said, when you breathe in, know that God is breathing in. When you breathe out, know that God is breathing out. That interface between you and the divine, the balance between the two. You're part of the equation. You're doing the work of healing and balancing something out. It's all about feeling through some connection. You know, if things in a relationship got really raw and abrasive, Hangman also indicates a kind of retreat or non-action. So part of it may even seem like it's passive, but it's not. It's actually work. You've done some kind of work to manifest this. Alchemical blend. You might have been for a time stuck in Five of Cups sadness and not realizing that there are connections in front of you, on either side of you. Maybe not with the same person, but connection can be renewed. Nine of Wands. Hang in there. This is a card of the wounded warrior. Take the risk to begin again. We have the black and the white dog, the black and the white horse. It's a little bit pull yourself together emotionally. Not, Spirit isn't judging you or me. But there is a message to not give up. Keep working at it. Eight of Pentacles, Devil card. You're making progress even if you don't feel you are. Chariot, a card of victory and progress and forward movement emotionally. We have two nines here, Nine of Wands, Nine of Cups. Happiness may seem very elusive right now. You may have felt very wounded in the past as a result, perhaps, of a toxic relationship, but connection is still possible. You might want to block, your sadness or realize that the period of mourning may be over. If it's not over, it's a few steps down the road. Divine timing is on your side. You're supported, even if you're perhaps not feeling supported. Five of Cups. Ace of Cups. That's the starting point. There's an opportunity for self-love. Hang in there. It's like the communal cup. We have a lot of cup energy in this reading. Hang one, Two of Cups, Nine of Cups, Three of Cups, Chariot, also water energy, Ace of Cups. You may feel stuck, but turn it into a time of reflection, of seeing it from a new perspective. Use the time to heal, the time of non-action. Knight of Swords. You may hear from somebody. This could be yourself talking to yourself in this time of reflection. Swords are about attention and listening and perceiving. There's a message here to love yourself and to persevere. Connection is possible. It's always possible. Six of Wands, always possible. Another card of victory. In fire energy. Setting an intention and going for something. That may be the message from yourself to yourself. I don't know. I hope it makes sense to you. There's a lot of promise in this. But also be where you are. Don't try to escape shadow energy. You have to sort of confront it head on. That's where we get renewal. Full card. Be brave enough to take the risk. I'll see you next time.